What I'm buying right now when it comes to Pokemon investments. Now, it's funny, you need to have a game plan because, it's a bit like playing Halo and, you can go the spray and pray approach where you dual wield SMGs and just fire at will and, hope you get a win there. But if you go in with a plan, you're going to be way, way more successful. For all the Halo fans, I hope you get an analogy. You get the idea. A plan is really, really important. So here's mine. And look, take from it what you will. You might have a different investing plan, but here's what I'm buying, both singles and sealed. Let's start off with singles really quickly. It's interesting. I don't talk about singles much on here. I have been doing a fair few more videos than what I was in the past on singles. So I hope you appreciate those ones. But for me, when it comes to singles right now, all I'm doing is buying what I like. And that you need to do that to some degree because you can burn yourself out investing in Pokemon just thinking that everything you buy needs to have a return. What happens if you do that is you literally just overanalyze everything. You go, oh, that product hasn't done much the last 3 months. Oh, that's dipped the last 6 months. Yes, that one's gone up. Yes, that one's had awesome achievements. It's like you will overanalyze your whole collection if all you care about is just making money on every single product. You've got to have some fun with it too. And that's why I buy some singles. I will do a singles a binder video coming up soon. I don't know, maybe in the next few months or so. I have been buying just Wizards of the Coast stuff. Why? Because it resonates with me. That's what I used to collect when I was a kid. I've picked up a couple of beauties, I think. I've picked up a Fossil Dragonite holo. And for me, I don't care. I shouldn't say I don't care. I would care if it was an investment. But from a collecting standpoint, I don't care about the condition of the card. I don't care if it has whitening around the edges. I don't care if it's got a small crease through it. I don't care if it's got a hollow line through it, a print line. It doesn't bother me. That's how I had them as a kid. They were used and they were played with it. As long as I had it as part of my collection, I was happy. And that's what I'm doing now. So I got Dragonite Fossil Holo. That is of course, the rookie Dragonite card. Dragonite's one of my favorite Pokemon, so it was really nice to add that to the collection. I grabbed Dark Espeon from Neo. Espeon is actually my favorite evolution. I love the Espeon from Fusion Strike. I would like to pick that up soon. I think the Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike is actually a nicer looking card than the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies. Controversial take, some people might agree with me, others will be very much in the disagreement corner, but maybe it's just because Espeon's my favorite Pokemon. This Dark Espeon from Neo Destiny's awesome looking card in my opinion. And from Jim, I picked up Rocket Scyther Holo. Cypher, I remember the very first deck I had was a bit of a jungle-based deck, and it centered around Cypher a little bit because as a base Pokemon, he was quite strong, and I used that to battle my friends, and Cypher resonates with me. It's one of my favorite original Pokemon from 151, and to pick this up in a holo, I think Rocket Scyther from Jim here is an awesome card. So there's just 3 singles I've picked up. Now let's move on to some more investment-based content. Before we do though, I did want to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. There'll be a link in the description to download it. Awesome, awesome app. It is the one-stop shop for your investing and collecting needs. You can put all your sealed, all your singles inside there, English, Japanese. You can look at set analytics from any set. You can look at the top hits inside any set. If you're a pro user, it unlocks so much more data. You can go through and look way back in time to see how something's been performing over time. All those things are really, really important if you want to make better investing choices and then also track your portfolio. All those things will come into play and be super, super important to be more successful in your journey investing. So again, there'll be a link in the description to download the Collector app. Right, let's talk what I'm buying sealed. Booster boxes and Elite Trainer boxes. I've changed my tune a tiny bit on Elite Trainer boxes. I don't want to flood my wardrobe with Elite Trainer boxes because there are negatives to them. In fact, I did a video recently saying, and it was around data and how every Scarlet and Violet era, booster box as a percentage gain has outperformed, Elite Trainer box as a percentage gain has outperformed booster boxes, bar 2 sets. Sword and Shield era, booster boxes were outperformed by Elite Trainer boxes, bar 2 sets. Sun and Moon era, Elite Trainer boxes outperform booster boxes bar one set. So what the data was showing from a percentage standpoint and gain in value, Elite Trainer boxes, this was just regular Elite Trainer boxes, have been outperforming booster boxes. Whether that's just the current climate, whether that's because, of course, they're a cheaper entry point price, and once people move away from the expensive cost of a booster box, they feel they can get an Elite Trainer box, whether that's because people value them as a sealed collectible more as a booster box because they display better. I don't know the exact reasons. No one does. No one knows what the whole consumer behavior is doing. All we know is the numbers say that as a percentage gain point, Elite Trainer boxes have been outperforming booster boxes. Now, there's negatives to that, like the one I mentioned before, which is space. You know, Elite Trainer boxes take up a lot more space. They're also a bit more delicate. The plastic around them can rip, and that can hurt you when it comes time to resell. You might get people reach out and say, hey, look, I want some money back, or whatever the reason might be. So I'm not saying this is my be-all and end-all, that I'm only investing in Elite Trainer boxes now. The other big thing is, from a percentage gain standpoint, like, yes, they might outperform them from a percentage gain standpoint, but from an overall gain in value, just a single figure, the booster box is going to give you more. And here's what I mean. Like, if you have a dollar card that goes up 300%, you've got to sell hundreds of them to make the same gains as if a booster box went up half that. So what I'm getting at is you're going to have to buy more Elite Trainer boxes to get that money back in your pocket. Yes, the percentage might be better, but the process is longer because you will need more of them. So let's start on booster boxes. I also did a list really recently, and let's bring that up on the screen, which is Chilling Reign. I did a list recently that ranked from Sword and Shield base all the way through to the current Mega Evolution block sets, you know, right through to Chaos Rising, because Pitch Black had only just come out. So Sword and Shield base through to Chaos Rising. It worked off total set value in relationship to current booster box price. And that relationship is so important, because across history, whether we go back to XY, whether we go back to Black and White, whether we go back to Diamond and Pearl, whether we go all the way back to EX era or even Wizards of the Coast era, what the data strongly suggests is the higher the total set value, the higher the future box price. That's why an EX Team Rocket Returns booster box is more than an EX Power Keepers box. That's why a Skyridge box is more than a Gym Heroes box. And you could go, well, Print Run and everything comes into play. Well, yes, it does, but Print Run also has an impact on the singles price inside there. So these booster boxes that I've been picking up, the data suggests their ratio between the value, the total set value, and the current booster box price, there's a difference there. And the bigger the difference, the more opportunity there is for the box price to come up. And that's really important, because eventually, no matter what, across all time, every single booster box, even the worst possible sets, eventually booster box price will come up to total set value. There's been no box in history that hasn't. And then it starts to surpass it. And the stronger the total set value, the stronger it's going to surpass it. So it's so important. Chilling Reign, its total set value is over 4 times the box price. Anything, in my opinion, where the total set value is over 4 times the box price shows that there's a big room for growth on those boxes. And look, you might say, oh yeah, PokeGuys, everyone's been talking about Chilling Reign for the last 4 years, and what's it done? Well, you could buy Chilling Reign boxes for $100. Look at them now. They're $500. That set came out 5 years ago. Imagine if 5 years ago you bought a property for $1 million and it was worth $5 million. Or you bought, some shares for $100 and they're now valued at $500. You would be going absolutely insane saying, I've made the best investment I've ever made in my life. And people are, harping on saying, well, Chilling Reign's done nothing because it doesn't have good enough chase cards. Well, have a look at the chase cards. They're pretty damn good. The Moltres is phenomenal. The Articuno and Zapdos are nice. The Galarian Slowking is a gorgeous artwork, coupled with the fact that you have Blaziken chilling up the top there, excuse the pun, looking awesome. There's Aurora. There's a lot of really nice. In fact, it has the most alternate artworks out of any Sword and Shield era set. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be a $20,000 box, but I think based on the data, it's a good pickup. So is Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved has a lot of depth of illustration rares. So does Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift is another Scarlet and Violet set which it's not as good as Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved has a good chase card, a really strong chase card in that Magikarp with a really strong multiplier effect. In fact, most Paldea Evolved cards have a really strong multiplier effect from raw price to PSA 10 price because they're difficult to grade. They have a tough gem rate. Like some are 12%, some are 14%, some are 16%. I think Magikarp's 18 or 16.5 or there's something along that lines. So Paradox not as strong as Paldea, but it's cheaper, so it still has a good multiplier effect. It still has lots and lots of depth of illustration rares. And what happens when you have lots of depth, particularly when they are worth a lot as a PSA 10, it does add value in the background. Trust me on that. One of the reasons that some of the weaker XY boxes, some of the weaker black and white boxes, yes, they might not have good chase cards inside them like the stronger sets, but still even so, the weaker cards have very tough gem rates and are worth a lot in a PSA 10. And people seem to like that. And we all know that the chances of them grading a 10 are quite slim. But you watch any video on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reel, where someone is opening a vintage box. They always show the hits, and you know what they show beside it? They show raw price and they show PSA 10 price. And they really, really highlight and hammer home the PSA 10 price. Does it mean it's going to get it? No, it doesn't. But what it shows is, I think collectively as a group, everyone likes to think that that's the thrill of the chase, isn't it? That they might get a PSA 10, that they've opened and pulled this card, that it could be worth $14,000 if it grades a 10. That's part of the gamble of it all. I think Surging Sparks is an awesome pickup as a booster box. I think Twilight Masquerade is also an awesome pickup as a booster box. Twilight Masquerade will be sneaky good long term. You know, the data doesn't present it as the best pickup booster box right now, but you know when you just have a feeling about something, and look, sometimes feelings can be wrong. Like I'm not saying, you know, everything that I feel when it comes to an investment is going to come true, but there's something about Twilight Masquerade as a future sealed investment that just feels like it's going to be expensive. Mega Evolution Base, that actually ranks as the biggest difference between booster box price and total set value. So the biggest multiplier effect to come. ME Base is a really, really strong set. There's plenty of good chase cards inside there. And they're worth a bit of money. Like it's the best base set we've seen in a long time. And finally, I think with the reprint of Destined Rivals, it's a great pickup now. Like, what are the chances of Destined Rivals copying another reprint? Like, it's got to be next to nothing. I think we're going to, you know, Pokemon is going to dig their teeth into 30th anniversary and Delta Rain around the corner. There are a lot of good sets to come out with a lot of demand from customers. I can't probably see, you know, Destined Rivals being reprinted again. So it might be the cheapest we ever see a booster box right now. And finally, what I wanted to talk about is the Elite Trainer boxes. I mentioned, you know, my current plan is one booster box a week. And look, so I know, I get it. Some people are way more than that, buying cases each week. There's some people that, you know, they have to save up and buy one booster box a month. Like everyone's at different levels. So that's where I'm at. With booster boxes, it's one a week, but I do want to switch it up some weeks and buy an Elite Trainer box instead. And I think if you go back to Sword and Shield, there's plenty of growth to be had. And here's what I mean by this. You could pick up something like Fusion Strike for not a super cheap price, but man, that's a good looking Elite Trainer box. It's colorful. There's a fan favorite mascot Pokemon on the front, and those things are so important to a sealed values or a sealed collector's future mindset. And I remember, if I rewind back to say 2021, if we go back 5 years, or probably nearly 5.5 years, so the start of 2021, I looked back and I saw Sun and Moon era booster boxes while we're in Sword and Shield era, and they were not cheap. In fact, they weren't too far off booster box price. Like, probably early 2021, you could buy Cosmic Eclipse Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds Elite Trainer boxes for probably about $300 US. And the booster box counterpart might have been, $400 to $500 US at the time. We'd just seen that massive uptick from COVID and all the other influences involved there with the Pokemon market. So things had stepped up a notch. And I remember thinking, damn, like they're expensive. Like, I don't know if they're going to go up any more than what they have. Cosmic at $350 US for an Elite Trainer box. Like, yeah, it's a good set, but man, that's appreciated rapidly. Unbroken at 310 an Elite Trainer box. Yeah, it's cool. Charizard's on the cover. That's one of the it's the second biggest mascot Pokemon, you could argue, behind Pikachu, but it's expensive. And I look back at that now and I go, why didn't I buy some? Look at the prices of all Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes. And okay, there's other arguments to be had. Elite Trainer boxes are printed more now. So I'm not saying the current crop of Elite Trainer boxes are going to perform as good as those. They are just getting rarer and rarer. But I look at some Sword and Shield boxes, Elite Trainer boxes that is, and they're already starting to get rarer. It's like 3 or 4 years ago, they were everywhere. You could buy them from Pokemon Center, they were still hovering around in some stores. Online, you could type them into eBay and you just had countless listings with, half a dozen Elite Trainer boxes, 10 Elite Trainer boxes in their inventory. Now you type it in, and it almost feels we're at the stage I was at 5 years ago on some of those Sun and Moon boxes. So I think something like Fusion Strike in an Elite Trainer box is a great pickup. Another one is, and this is super cheap. In fact, it's cheaper than most Scarlet and Violet era Elite Trainer boxes. And I don't really know why, because it's actually a really neat looking box. And that's Brilliant Stars from Sword and Shield era. That Elite Trainer box is $165 US. That's super cheap. It's a neat box, white and gold, and the set is so much better than people give it credit for. I've always said for ages the Charizard, the alternate art, is undervalued. I can't see that. I don't know why that's not a $600 card. It baffles me. It always has. And the trainer gallery, it's almost like you've got a mini Evolving Skies in there. You've got Evolutions, you've got Mimikyu. It's a solid set. It's not as good as Cosmic Eclipse, which was the previous trainer gallery set we got, but it's pretty damn good. Like it's not A+++, but you would have to say it's probably an A- set. It deserves more credit than what it gets. So for $165 for an Elite Trainer box, Brilliant Stars, no brainer in my opinion. There are some other good pickups for Elite Trainer boxes. Well, there you go. Like that's my plan. I do want to weave in some Elite Trainer box purchases inside the booster boxes. And look, maybe if it's quite a week with commissions selling cars, maybe rather than spending, $490 US on a Chilling Reign booster box, I'd rather spend $165 on a Brilliant Stars Elite Trainer box. And that's what you guys and girls should do that are watching. You don't have to go all out every week, just go bang, bang, bang. And the last thing to remember before we close off the video is it's not the greatest buying market, but it's the best buying market we've had for the last 18 months. The last 18 months has saw rapid, insane levels of growth that I don't think the hobby's ever seen before. And for the last 3 months, we've either seen a stabilization or a retraction in price. So in my opinion, again, not saying it's the world's best buyer's market, but it's the best buyer's market that we've had for the last 18 months. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time.